Hello. In this session, we're going to focus on strengthening and moving our upper body, specifically our arms, shoulders, and shoulder blades. And I am 9 days out of my appendectomy. So the focus is not on any sort of weight load, it's more supportive. That being said, you'll need something to sit on so that when you sit with your feet flat on the floor, your hip is higher than your knee. There's a slope from the top of your thigh to the bottom. I'm using a very light stretch band that's attached to something solid. The height matters. Around chest height or higher is ideal. The lower the attachment is compared to your sitting stance, the less supportive, because as you can see here, if I'm holding onto the band and let my arms relax, the band is actually lifting my arm in the air, supporting my arm. If the attachment was lower, my arm would have to lift itself as well as pull the band, and that is fine. It's just a little bit more aggressive. There's nothing wrong with that. You are allowed to lift up to 10 pounds with your post-abdominal surgery from appendectomy, and that includes your arm weight is included in that number. So when they say 10 pounds, they're including that your arm weight, it's on top of your arm weight already. So it's your arm weight plus 10 pounds. Oh, those words are hard. You're gonna sit up nice and tall, vertical. You can elevate your seat away from the platform that you're sitting on with a cushion if your hips aren't above your knees. A small arch to your lower back looking forward. You grab onto the band with your thumbs and index finger and wrapping your fingers around. As you breathe, pull the band back by bending the elbows. You're gonna pull the top of the shoulder back with the shoulder blade as well, evenly on both sides, and then release forward. As you pull back, you can rotate your palms to face the sky. You might like that more, or just don't worry about it. Those are fine. Just make sure the top of the shoulder isn't pointing forward. Try to get that top of the shoulder to point to the ceiling as it moves behind you with your shoulder blades squeezing together, and then release. Again, move the top of the shoulder back with you as the elbows and shoulder blades go back together. 3, and then return forward. Growing very tall, gentle, small arch to your lower back. 8. I'm not specifically arching my lower back forcefully. The height of the chair alone, 7, because my hip is higher than my knee, encourages my lower back to be in its natural arch, just like my neck. 6. I'm just going to make sure that I'm not sitting down and slumping here, sitting up nice and tall, vertical on top of my sit bones. 5. If you don't know what your sit bones are those two bones that you're sitting on. 3, SITZ bones that you're SITTING on. You can feel them on a firm surface. 2, one more time, if you have doubts about their location. Easy breathe. You can take one hand under one cheek and then sit on it, and you'll feel the knuckle-like protrusion that presses into your fingers. That's a sit bone. You have one on either side. You'll find that you can rock forward. If you rock too far forward, you lose that contact. If you rock too far back, you feel more of your tailbone touching the back of the bench. You want to be right in the middle on top of those sit bones. Round 2. Top of the shoulder goes back, shoulder blades draw together, squeeze them together, and then return nice and tall, vertical. Again, exhale, pull the top of that shoulder back as well, 9. Again, it's very, very common for that top of the shoulder to point forward here, even though you're drawing your shoulder back. 8, make sure the top of the shoulder goes back behind you. 7, pointing to the ceiling. It's like you have two spotlights, one on top of each shoulder. 6, they both face the sky no matter where the arm bones go. Again, easy. Pull back. Great job there. Nice and tall. Again, shoulder blades draw together behind you. Very good work. 5 more here. Again, shoulder blades pull together. Breathe deeply. 5. Excellent work there. Again, they pull together behind you. 4. Nice and tall and strong. Easy. Relax your toes. Sitting up vertical, ear over shoulder, over ribs, over hips. 2, one more time. Again, easy pull, breathe deeply, and then rest. Excellent job. And this is a nice supportive place to be because the band is, again, help supporting the weight of my arms. I'm sitting up nice and tall, getting good alignment. I'm not forcefully contracting anything in my torso or abdomen because it doesn't feel so great right now, but also it's not necessary. right? You don't have to always contract your abs consciously to have good exercise. You can breathe and focus on alignment, and your musculature will fire at an appropriate level for you. Here we go. And again, exhale, just breathing with better posture is what I'm trying to say, will help your intrinsic soft tissues work organically for you. Breathe deeply, 9. And again, make sure the top of the shoulder goes back with you. It doesn't get to point forward. Breathe, return. And that can take some external eyes to help you with 7. So you can always set up your phone or your PC if you have it to like a Zoom or a FaceTime and turn it on to yourself and see how is that shoulder girdle moving? Is it gliding back or is it tilting forward? Easy. You want the whole scapula and shoulder blade to go back together. 5. When the shoulder tips forward, the scapula does not hug the rib cage completely. 4. The lower border of your scapula will come off the rib cage. 3, and that's just not what we're looking for. That's something else. Breathe deeply. You just have a bit of tightness around your shoulder girdle that you want to help ameliorate by getting the lower part of the shoulder blade to make contact with the rib cage at all times. Rest. Really great job. Now we're going to switch gears here. I'm going to grab a little more to the end of the band. Now straight arms are going to pull back and shoulder blades draw back that way. And then return. Grow tall. Straight arms pull back, shoulder blades pull together. 9. Easy does it. Breathing. Again, pull back. Easy. Control. 8. And just sitting up tall and strengthening the area of your upper back and shoulder girdle and scapulae will encourage better posture. Breathe deeply. Easy. Breathe. 7. I'm doing this sitting because it's less intense on my whole body. 6. Easy control. Breathe deep, but I can also focus on my upper quadrant posture a lot more effectively. 5. By thinking about where my sit bones are and how they're connected to the bench and where I am in relation to them. 4. And again, the top of the shoulder goes back as you pull. 3. Try not to let it tilt forward. Try not to tilt the shoulder forward as you pull. 2. Try not to let your head shear forward as well in opposition. And then rest. All these try not to. Try not to this, try not to that. I know. Try to have a good time. Here we go. Round 2. Grow tall, pull back, shoulder blades draw together, and then elbows are nice and long. Plow down and pull back together. 9. The arms plow down, but you're not driving your shoulder blades down either. Easy. 8. So try not to jam them down away from the ears. Just relax them away from the ears gently. 7. But don't forcefully draw them down either. Breathe deeply. Control, pull back. 6. Easy, gently. It's hard to have a nice supported shoulder girdle range of health and range of motion and health if you're always drawing your shoulder blades down to move. That is a difficult place to operate from, for which has its own complications over time. Breathe deeply. 3. If you're always drawing your shoulder blades down to move, that's going to create a lot of unwanted imbalances, and that is not the goal. Rest. Understand that when your shoulders are up by your ears, and that's how you feel, you can just say, okay, thank you. You can relax a bit and see if they, excuse me, will relax versus draw down. You want to encourage a sense of the shoulder girdle being relaxed and ready for movement versus stressfully pulling them down. I say stress, here we go, round 3, because often the shoulder blades are up by your ears because you're learning something new or it's unfamiliar or complicated, 9, or just a little bit overwhelming. It's a place of protection. So that I would call that a stress. 8. So one great way to combat stress, 7, would be, yes, to breathe, relax, and de-stress. So instead of creating more stress by drawing them down forcefully, which is to not address the original pattern of stress and tension, 4, encourage a slower approach, a more gentle approach of breathe and release. And see if you can eventually allow them to release. And they will release over time, and you'll have them up by your ears less if you encourage awareness of, I'm feeling stressed in my shoulders, can I relax them? Versus, I'm feeling stressed in my shoulders, draw them down and create more stress. I hope that makes sense. I think we have one more to go here. Again, easy, pull back. Yeah, Excellent job there. Now, I'm going to turn around. I'm going to move my seat closer just because it'll be less aggressive for me. Sitting up nice and tall, the band goes under my arms. Here, I'm going to press forward away from me and then bend in. The elbows and shoulder blades go back behind you here. The elbows and shoulder blades separate, but I don't round my spine. I don't grow tall, and I don't lean forward. All these don'ts. Elbows and shoulder blades go back behind you together. Again, press forward, 8. Elbows come close to your body. Shoulder blades go back. Again, the top of your shoulder, try not to let it point forward. Breathe deeply. Drive out, 7. That top of the shoulder, trying to let it face up to the sky when the shoulder arms go back. Again, 6. Really good job. Easy. Elbows and blades go back behind you, sitting up nice and tall. Breathe deeply, 5. Action job. Elbows and blades go back behind you. Breathe. Again, 4. Control. Easy. Breathe gently on top of those sit bones. 3. Really great job. Control. Easy. Reach out, grow tall through the crown of your head. 2. One more time. Easy. Again, reach and press out nice and tall. Bend it in and rest. And when I encourage you to pull your elbow shoulder blades back, your chest does lift a little bit. That's fine. And it lowers a bit as you press out. So there is a little bit of undulation through your spine here. You're just not leaning forward or back markedly. Now, if you feel this too much on the front of your abdominal wall or your stomach, I would back the chair up more towards the attachment behind you. This does put more pressure on the front of your body than facing the other way, but as long as it's not too aggressive, you should be okay. Here we go. Press out, drive. Take your time. Bend the elbows and shoulder blades behind you together. Again, easy. Push and reach, 9. You got it. Grow tall, fold it into you, breathe. Drive and press out, control, 8. And I really want to encourage you to get the shoulder blades and elbows to draw behind you together actively. 7. I want them to go behind you as the elbows bend. Breathe deeply, that's right. 6. The same thing is happening in a push-up. Your shoulder blades are actually coming together as the elbows bend and apart as you push the floor away from you. 5. There is that motion there as well, as long, if you're wondering. 4. That's a great way to get shoulder integrity. Breathe deeply. Really, when the elbows go behind you, you want the scapula to move back together and not to tilt forward. 2, because like I said earlier, when the scapula tilts or the lower angle of your shoulder blade leaves or has less contact, rest with the rib cage, there's not as much short fiber, soft tissue activity around the entire scapula evenly. And that can lead to imbalances over time that cause a lot of shoulder impingement and issues. Here we go. Last round. And drive out, breathe nice and tall. You look away from the floor. Elbows and shoulder blades go behind you. And again, push forward, 9. Elbows and shoulder blades go behind you. Shoulder blades, tip of the shoulder points up, 8. So same thing here. Top of that shoulder tries to point up as you go back behind you. Breathe deeply, 7. Take your time, easy bend, nice and tall. Drive it out, breathe and push, 6. Excellent work there, nice and vertical tall. Great job. On top of those sit bones, 5. Elbow, shoulder blades go back behind you. Again, breathe and stretch out there, 4. You can do it. Elbow, shoulder blades go back behind you. Reach and press, 3. Really nice job. Fold it in gently, easy. Drive it out, 2. One more time, control. Easy, drive it out, 1. Bend in, shoulders, elbows go back together and rest. Really great job. Take a break if you need to. If your lower back is needing a little stretch, you can round a bit here. That's fine. You can take a little walk. That's great. You can always hit pause. Now, we're going to sit up tall, push forward. Now, the arms are going to open, but they don't go behind me. They stay in front of my shoulders, and they come together. 10. Easy. Nice and tall. Breathe deeply. 9. You can go a little further if you want to, but that's not the goal. I prefer that you keep them just in front of your shoulders and not behind you. Breathe deeply. 7. Open gently, easy. 6, you are going to feel some shoulder blade moving back behind you. 5. So as the arms open, shoulder blades come a little bit together and they separate as you push forward. 4. Nice and tall on top of those sit bones, vertical. 3, ear over ribs over hips. 2, one more time. Grow tall, make sure your knees aren't falling open either. And then bend your legs. You can have your feet wider apart. That'll be more stable, more comfortable. You can also put a prop like a yoga block or a roll-up towel between your legs to help you gain stability and keep your legs in alignment there as well. You can always have your legs wider. Both work. If your knees are coming together, you can put a band around your legs and push it apart gently. Push forward. Here we go. Round 2. Open, gentle, and return. 10. Take your arms. Shoulder blades come together. Shoulder blades go apart. 9. Nice and tall, vertical here. Easy breathe. Control. 8. Nice and tall to the crown of your head. Open and pull together. 7. Exhale, everyone. Open, breathe, and pull it long. 6. Excellent work here. Open. That's right. And pull. 5. And here specifically is a place where the band was lower than it is here. It'd be pulling you back a lot, and that could be really aggressive. 4. Easy breathe. Not bad, just more aggressive. 3. Easy. Gentle. Again, I'm just post-surgery. I'm trying to do everything as mindfully as I can. Bend it and rest. So I don't want to overtax my system because there's a lot going on right now. But I do want to encourage circulation and soft tissue activation because that will help my healing dramatically on top of walking and resting, right? Resting and walking is what is mainly suggested, I think, because stuff like this people don't have access to, right? Here we go. Press forward. Arms open. And then pull it forward, 10, nice and tall. No one really focuses on this kind of strength as being essential when it really is. 9, it's foundational, nice and tall. Breathe deeply. 8, people cast to the side because it's not very heavy. And all you're doing is sitting. But if you're sitting tall, vertical the whole time, you can feel that effect over time build up. 5, and it feels, very supportive and strengthening. 4, easy, open, briefly, tall on top of the sit bones. 3, really nice work, everyone. Control, breathe deeply. 2. One more time. Excellent work. You got it. Bend your elbows in, release the band, and rest. That was really, really great. I'm just adjusting. I'm only adjusting for the camera view here. Now I have a pair of 1 pound weights, right? Feel free to not use weights at all. And I forgot to mention, we're doing both arms because time. Right? You can always choose one arm, and that's really great work for your body as well, because you work a lot differently with working one arm than working 2. Your torso, body, your legs, everything responds differently when it's just one arm versus 2. And in life, we use one arm or mostly one arm. Rarely are we working both arms evenly, doing the exact same thing. There's a desynchronous pattern to our limbs and appendage usage. So exercising with that in mind is really beneficial. Today, I wanted to get through a lot of exercises, so we didn't really have time to do one arm, then the other one. That's the main reason I chose that. But you can also, I might do a video of that later, but that's a lot for people. That's a long video. People may not. Anyway, sit through that. Here we go. Arms by your side. You're going to bend your hands to your shoulders, elbows in front of you. You're going to reach the arms up. Your palms can face each other or not. That's fine. Bend the arms, hands to shoulders, and all the way down. I'm going to just back up a little bit. And again, here we go. Bicep curl, elbows in front, reach up. Elbows in front and all the way down. Now, this is an aggressive place to be because the arms are reaching overhead. 8. That increases the intra-abdominal pressure quite a bit. So be soft here with the weights. Feel free to not use any weight. 7, if you're like me coming off of surgery, breathe. But again, this is way less than 10 pounds. It's only 2 pounds. 6, ease, well within the recommended weight limit. Breathe deeply, easy, nice and tall. 5, control, gentle, easy. I find that people practice overhead motions the least. 4, and that tends to be the most challenging for them. Therefore, easy, reach, breathe. 3. Take your time, nice and tall, perpendicular, vertical. Easy, tall on top of those sit bones. 2, elbows are in front of you. So the elbows don't veer out to the side, they stay in front of you. It's more supportive for your shoulder girdle to do that. I'm going to face the side so you can see the profile view. Nice and tall, and again, just hands to shoulders, arms press up, vertical. And if your arms don't go quite long by your ears, maybe they're in front of you, that's okay. None, you'll get there over time with practice. So if reaching up at an angle feels better for you, do that. Easy breathe. If it's too hard, you can have your arms wider apart as they climb up there. Breathe. Easy, reach, gentle. 7, try not to look at the floor. There's nothing down there, most likely. Grow tall. 6, look beyond. See the long pathway ahead of you in life. Breathe deeply. 5, that was a bit too much. Breathe deeply. See the sunrise. That's better. 4, good job. Easy, nice and tall, vertical. Easy. Press and drive and reach. 3, tall and sit bones. Reach up the crown of your head. Breathe and reach. 2, excellent job there. One more time. Curl, reach, press, and drive up. That's right. All the way down. And just sitting vertical is great. Right? Last round. You can always hit pause. What I meant is if it's too aggressive, your arms could be wider apart here. That's a less intense place to be. If reaching your arms directly up is not feeling good to you. 9. Make sure your weight's on your sit bones evenly, 8, as much as you can, and that you're vertical and not shifting over to the side. Easy, reach and drive. 7, tall and strong, reaching out to the crown of your head, breathing. 6, tall on those sit bones the whole day here. Control, easy, reach and drive. 5, you're doing really well here. And again, people often discount moving light weights like this, 4, or no weight at all, but all movement really has impact and import. Specifically, 3, if you're thinking about your posture, sitting up vertical, not looking down. 2, breathing, don't stop the breathing. All those things are the foundation of a great movement practice and rest. So don't discount things just because it looks visually what you might not think exercise should look like. Focusing on your internal sensations of where's my posture, am I breathing, where am I looking, those kind of things really transfer out to your life quite effectively. Now, we're going to reach our arms out to the side and then down, sitting up nice and tall. Reaching out. 9, take your time. And again, the arms aren't going directly to the side. 8, they're just in front of my shoulder like we did earlier. 7, sitting. I'll show you the profile view next. Nice and tall, reach. 6, excellent work here. Tall and strong and vibrant. 5, tall on top of those sit bones. Reach out the ground of your head. 4, make sure you keep breathing. Reaching out. 3, excellent work there. Control, reach. 2, one more time. Easy reach. Yeah, really good job. I'll show the profile view here. And again, you can always have your legs wider apart if that feels better for you. Nice and tall, vertical. So as my arms reach out, they're not directly to the side. They're just in front of my shoulders, not to the side so much. It's just a more supportive place to be. It really encourages your shoulder blade to hug your rib cage a lot more by this angle. 9, that lower angle of the shoulder blades encourage. 8, to make more contact with the rib cage here with this angle of the arm bone. 7, it gets more support. Nice and tall. 6, no higher than shoulders is necessary. Not even shoulder height is fine. 5, reach all the way out there. Control, reach, breathe. 4, nice and tall and strong. Great work, everyone. Look away from the floor. 3, tall on your sit bones. Keep breathing. 2, you're doing excellent work. One more time. Reach out away from you. You did really well there. One more round. Really great job. Here we go. Nice and tall. Exhale or inhale, as long as you're breathing. I like to exhale. Maybe you like to inhale. Maybe you don't like to think about it. Maybe just breathing is great for you. 8, keep the air in and out the whole day. Reach. 7, take your time. Easy. Stretch those arms away from you. 6, and then return. Think of reaching out, touching opposing walls. 5, on either side of the room. Control, reach. 4, really nice, everyone. Control, reach out away from you. 3, reach out through the crown of your head. Reach your sit bones through the bench. 2, all of these things you're working on. Breathe and reaching, and then rest. Excellent job. I hope you enjoyed that stimulating and nourishing sequence. Again, we faced the band, then we faced away, then we pressed overhead, and we reached out to the side. Again, I would have preferred to have done it with one arm at a time, but the time limit was a factor there because we had so many different exercises to go through. I thought just showing both arms moving is great. And it's not that it's not great to do both arms together. It's just not quite as we move in life. It's not wrong. It's just different from how we move in life. And I have found that doing one arm or one leg generally works really well for people's long-term health and well-being. Doing 2 arms is great. It does make you strong, gets you to feel things. It just doesn't transfer as directly to people's lived experience, I find. All right, I hope you enjoyed that. My name is Eric. This is Nucleus Strength. I look forward to getting stronger with you in the future. Yours in good health. Take care.